The message in the music, don't abuse it. We put the message confusing. We put the message in the music, we cannot lose it. We put the message in the music, don't abuse it. We put the message in the music, come on choose it. We put the message in the music, we cannot lose it. We put the message in the music, can't confuse it. We put the message in the music, don't abuse it. We put the message in the music, confusing. We put the message in the music, we cannot lose it. We put the message in the music, don't abuse it. We put the message in the music, come on choose it. We put the message in the music, we cannot lose it. We put the message in the music, don't abuse it. We put the message in the music, come on choose it. We put the message in the music, we cannot lose it. We put the message in the music, can't confuse it. We put the message in the music, don't abuse it. We put the message in the music, confusing. We put the message in.
So here's another question. You know, we are on the eve where our country about to turn 41, and you know what's so inspiring for me is that when I think about yourself and I think about this generation, if it's one thing you would want to leave with our generation, what would that be for this next 40 years to come?
Yeah, I am certain that those who read history understand that 40 is a very important number because 40 has to do with a generation. And every 40 years, a new generation comes in. So our country is at the point where the old generation that conceived the country, that birthed it, that became the adolescent leaders of it, their era is coming to a close. Many of our founding fathers have already passed on. Our founding mothers as well have died. The few that are left are in their twilight years. And so my challenge to the next generation is, first, are you ready to take responsibility? Secondly, do you understand what responsibility is? Thirdly, do you have a vision for the next 40 years of our country?
Wow.
Because it doesn't make sense you taking over a ship if you don't know what destination you want to go to.
Sure.
You know, you can be the captain of a boat that ain't going nowhere. So the next generation, my question is, have you captured a vision of the country for the next 40 years? Do you know where we want to go? And then secondly, have you obtained the skills to take us there? Fourthly, are you willing to pay the price to take us there? We almost normally always call the next generation the Joshua generation.
Right.
I think Joshua is a good image because Joshua took over from a great leader named Moses. And Joshua's job was different from Moses. And I think it's important to understand that. Every generation's assignment is different.
Right.
Moses' assignment was to bring them out of Egypt. That's all. Joshua's job was to take them in. There was supposed to be a third generation that's supposed to settle them. That third generation never appeared because Joshua did not produce any leaders after him.
Wow.
So Joshua was a successful leader, but he was a failure as a leader in the end because he didn't produce the next generation of leaders. So I think the Joshua generation is the leadership that the youth must now take us into the land, in the country. When I say land, I'm talking about the vision of the next Bahamas. We don't need to be independent anymore. We are independent.
Right.
We don't need to have citizenship. We got citizenship. We don't need to own our economy. We basically own our economy. We don't need to own politics and power. We have that. We don't need to, to have education. We got schools. So the question is now, what else do we need? What are we supposed to be doing? What are we supposed to be doing? What's the vision of our lives? What are we supposed to be doing? And the next generation got to answer that question.
Wow.
We don't want to go back to what we already have. So the big question then is to the next generation, where are you prepared to take the country? There's no profit in criticizing the last generation.
Right.
Our question is, what are we going to do now? What is the vision of the next generation? And until we answer that, we are in trouble as a country.
Wow. Wow, interesting. Last question. This is what I really want to know. If you, I know you talk about greatness a whole lot, right? But in the words of Dr. MYLES Munroe, what would you consider what greatness really is, and how does greatness apply to our next generation?
I think one of the most important explanations of greatness that I've ever read was given to us by a young Jewish rabbi. He was about 33 years old.
Wow.
He said, if you want to be great,
Right.
you must become the servant of everybody. So, greatness to me is finding your gift and serving it to the world.
Wow.
It doesn't matter who you are. Every human being came to earth with something that they can give their generation. It may be a talent, it may be a skill, it may be an invention, it might be a program, a project, it might be an idea, whatever it is. Every human being came to earth with something.
Yeah.
They need to, first of all, discover that thing, refine it, develop it, and then serve it to the next generation. Greatness really is a product of service, is a result of serving. Great people never try to be great. All the great people in history never had an interest in being great.
Wow.
They had a passion to serve people. Their ideas, people like Martin Luther King Jr.,
Right.
he just wanted to serve his gift of freedom to his people. Mahatma Gandhi, he wanted to serve his gift of deliverance for his people in India. Mother Teresa, she wanted to serve her gift of eradicating poverty. Nelson Mandela, he wanted to serve his gift to his people, to separate, to set them free from oppression. You know, and Sanandan Pillai, he wanted to serve his gift of being the man who would lead us from dominated colony to freedom of expression. They had no interest in becoming great. As a matter of fact, people become great after they die most of the time, because they're too busy dying before they died.
Wow.
They died serving people. They gave up their own lives. And so if you want to be great, don't try to be great. Try and find your gift.
Wow.
Try and find your assignment to help humanity. And then dedicate yourself to be willing to sacrifice anything to bring that to pass, including your own life sometime. You know, and that could be, you know, being a manager of a television studio.
Right.
Why? Because you're motivated by getting a message out to humans to help them. That's why you are a manager of a television studio. So you're taking your gift and you're serving it to those people.
Right.
By producing television programs, editing television programs,
Right.
getting it out to people. That's a gift.
Right.
And you're trying to get the right content in that particular medium. Someone has to take this program and record it. Someone has to distribute it.
Right.
Some medium have to get it to the people. So each one of those persons in that process is a leader, and they become great because they're serving their gift to help humanity.
Wow.
So if you want to be great, remember this one thing. True greatness is not measured by how many people serve you, but by how many people you serve.
Wow. Whoa. And Message in the Music TV, we're going to close it up and wrap it up right there. And I think that's the right note. Oh, man. I think that's the right note to close on. You know, greatness is not how many people
Serve you.
but
by how many people you
you serve.
You know, it's
This has been brought to you by Message in the Music Ministry.